TA and his pizza.
Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
For that great intro. I am one of your hosts, JT of Steelers Realm Podcast, joined by the four horsemen tonight. Three with us on video as well, and one on audio, but bringing them in. The freight train in the house and the famous TA. We're TA, looks like you're not in home base there, but where are you hanging out tonight?
Baby, I'm on vacation, getting some crab cakes, a little seafood, a little action down by the seashore with some seashells. Yeah, it's all good, man.
Cool. Freight train hanging out at home. No baseball tonight?
No baseball, just the night at the train station.
Cool. Yep, home base here for me once again, too. Made some progress on the home network. Tell you more about that later. But, hey, we're simulcasting again tonight, guys. So let's go ahead and jump on over with the PSF app, the Pro Sports Fans app, a Steeler group. We're going to be taking this show live tonight as well. And there we go. We got things rolling. So if you can, jump on that. For those of you tuning in, go ahead and jump on the app there. You can chat with us there, or on Facebook, Twitter, or the YouTube too. So either way, throw your comments out there. Join us live. Yep, there's somebody's jumping on. I see everybody's on there. There's Freight Train, TA, and our man Shane Man. What's going on tonight, Shane Man? How you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Talk about the
Whoa. Turn that down.
Ooh, who's giving the feedback, baby?
Mic adjust. Or, yeah, pop that. There we go. Got her now. Good. Just chilling, brother. What's up, man? How was your week, Shane Man?
Pretty good. Excited for the game this week. I see right now, not that we're talking about them, but the Lions are thrashing the Packers right now, which, interesting. But
Yeah, they would, because I started Jordan Love and the one running back, Jones tonight, so they would have a crappy week.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out for them. But yeah, excited to talk about the Steelers game.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Can we string another one together? We should be able to anyhow. But yep. It's Texans. We are at NRG Stadium Sunday afternoon. It's like 1:00 game. So it is nationally broadcast. Is that correct? CBS, CBC. What's that? CBC, but CBS. Yeah, KDKA TV locally in Pittsburgh. So if you are able to get KDKA TV, tune in to see. I believe it's Bob, and is it Charlie Batch? Has the pregame?
So yeah, right.
Yeah, and then he's on later. Usually on later with. Yeah, Hokie. He's on with Hokie later, but yeah, this primetime game. Spiro Davies, is that a TA pronunciation of our play-by-play announcer?
Hey, I'm kind of interested to see what this dude looks like, because I have no idea who Spiro Davies is. All I know is he might just come off the boat with what's his name? Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, Adam Archuleta
Maybe.
with the color. Yeah, Amanda Renner, sideline announcers on your television broadcast. And don't forget, you can catch our guy, Bill Hillgrove, doing play-by-play. Craig Wolfley and Missy Matthews and Max Starks all taking care of the rest with them. Locally, WDVE is the flag station in Pittsburgh, 102.5. But if you're in Indiana County, WDAD, Indiana County, it's 1450 AM and 100.3 FM in there. So nice and warm. Chance rain, 5%. So maybe a little bit of breeze, but maybe some gusts, looks like. Anyhow, that's the stage, open air stadium. So, yeah, we've fared quite well against Texans, 5-2. Us coming off another ugly win against the Raiders. Hey, we don't have any pretty wins yet, but Texans coming up, they upset the Jags. That was interesting too. And led by quarterback C.J. Stroud. So I'm interested to hear you guys' take on C.J. Stroud as we face them. And then the line, Steelers -3 with a 42.5 over under. So that sets the stage for the game this Sunday. I think just about every one of us had this one penciled in as a win, and I'm looking forward to seeing our projections there and see how we stack up against the Texans. Before we do that, though, we got by the numbers tonight. Freight Train, your man Freight Train, bringing you by the numbers. What do you got going on there, buddy?
Well,
no
this
music,
would be
Are we?
yeah, I don't have it. I don't ever get any fancy music. I just gotta shoot straight from the hip. I don't have any fancy music. I don't need it. I don't need the stage set. I'm my own stage.
You're your own stage?
Yeah.
All right.
So okay.
There
so
you
okay, here we go.
Clown music from Clown.
So, all right, TA, you ready? So we got 2022, and I'm guessing it's the year. 3 Steelers ranked behind Jesse Bates for the most interceptions since the 2022 season. Jesse Bates, for all you know, is the Texans safety that came over from the Bengals. So we have 6 with Levi Wallace, 6 with Pat Pete, and 6 with Minka Fitzpatrick.
I'm gonna say Jesse Bates is on the Falcons. Just so you, yeah. In case
Shane.
we messed
Oh, you know
up.
I
what?
didn't
I'm
want to
testing
have-
your knowledge,
I
okay?
didn't want to
I
have
was-
to correct him this time, Shane. So I'm glad
Just gotta
that
make sure
you're
we're
here.
Hey.
Woo!
Falcons, Texans, whatever, animals. Anyways, moving on. We got 145.6.
Wait a second. Did you just call the Texans animals? That's like the entire state. You just
Hey, remember when
right
I said
there in
we're
one
moving
shot.
on? Remember when I said we're
I'm
moving
sorry.
on?
We're moving on then. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
Corral those animals and get them moving on.
Listen, I used to be Amish, okay? We only went to the 8th grade, all right? So,
That's
Anyways,
because the
there you
animals were smarter.
so we have 145.6.
Next week, DA gets by the numbers, and we get
Yeah.
to draw them up for him.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, if I have to say 145.6 again, TA, I'm going to scream. That is Kenny Pickett's passer rating when operating in play action. Those numbers 12 of 16, 159 yards, 9.9 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
So what
So-
does that say?
So that's saying we need to get Kenny the hell out of the pocket and let him run around a little bit.
A little play action.
A little bit of backyard football.
A little backyard football.
So, moving on now. We have a 31.
Yeah, check
That is the
I'm surprised
that
to
is
see
the
that.
number of Steelers runs that have gone for 0 or negative yards this year. 31 attempts.
That's actually 31% of their plays.
Oh,
Their run
that's
plays.
Okay.
Sorry.
Again, TA's doing by the numbers next week. That signed, sealed, and delivered it right there. All right. You have me come on here, TA, to read some numbers off, and you critique everything.
No, I wasn't critiquing. I was letting you know that was my fault.
Okay.
I forgot
Okay.
to put the percentage sign in.
All right. So now the next one, TA, is 19. Is that just the number?
All right. Hey,
Nope, that's the number.
Okay.
freight train. Listen. Yeah. You just keep rolling, brother, and we'll just keep cheering.
Okay.
So,
All right. That sounds
Just-
good.
keep it moving through there.
Okay. So we have 19. After 3 weeks of football, TJ is tied for first with the most QB pressures, along with Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby. So 19 quarterback pressures for TJ Watt. Now, next we have 8.9. That is George Pickens' yards after catch average, which is ranked second. Is it just me or are we all jumbled up here?
What are you jumping up about?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're all
So-
jumbled up here. I don't know where this
Something's
is.
off.
There is an echo coming from somewhere. Well, go ahead, Freight
You guys
Train.
can hear
Keep on
me.
echoing.
Okay, we'll keep plugging along here. We have the number 4. Can he becomes the 4th Steelers quarterback with a 70-yard touchdown pass in consecutive games? Now, it'll be interesting if he gets another one, what that number looks like with 3 straight.
Tune in. I can't tell you.
So, to round this all out, this debacle by the numbers, we have Uno, 1. TJ is the only player in NFL history to record 6 sacks, 12-plus quarterback hits, and a touchdown through the first 3 games of a season. I think it's safe to say that TJ Watt is on pace to have one of the best defensive seasons in the history of the NFL.
It's not jinking him yet. Got a long way to go. But so
Yeah.
far, looking pretty good for this first month.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, folks, was by the numbers.
Yeah. Who's going to stop him?
Who's going to stop who?
TJ Watt. Who's going to stop TJ
I
Watt?
don't know what's going on with this. Yeah. I
Something's
don't know what's going on.
kind of goofy here, GT.
This getting cut up here too.
We having technical difficulties again?
Is your audio
think
choppy
so.
and stuff?
Yeah, very much so. You're like behind.
So is Shane, man.
Yeah. TA, you're working good.
Look, I'm feeling good, Freight Train.
You look good.
Looking good.
You got
feeling
good color.
I think I got like that Wilson look today. I'm
Right.
I'm Amos look
Yeah.
today, baby.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Look
I'm-
me in
you
the
know.
eyes, boys and girls.
I was gonna save the nice comments for after the show, depending on how you acted throughout the show. And you're off to a rocky start, but I figured maybe I'd break the ice with a nice comment.
I thought I was on my best behavior so far.
Well, I beg to differ. But anyways, moving on. Let's do the rest of the show, JT.
Hey, Mitch, what's going on? Mitch just joined the Steelers fan channel. Hey, Mitch. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's do that. Anyhow, how about this one? Let's get into some talking points here. A couple things out there. Who wants to start off? Harrison, happy with the Hall of Honor, but says no chance for Hall of Fame. What do you think? What's going on with that? Shane, why don't you lead us off in this discussion round table here? Did we lose him?
We must have lost him.
All right.
I can't hear him.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
There he is.
Yeah, I've been talking the whole time, and no, I wasn't getting any responses. So I wasn't sure
man.
if you guys were hearing me or not.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
No.
Well, as long as you can hear me now, right? You're good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
Hey, Chris. Still hearing a little echo. I think we're good now. Anyhow, getting some comments over. Jeremiah Yoder jumping in with us here to Chris as well.
Did Shane leave
Hey,
again?
Chris is wondering what kind of chew you got there, Freight Train.
Oh, only the best. Longhorn.
Is it chew or
It's-
crew? I think he said crew.
All I know is it's $1.30. Chewing on a budget.
You still got Shane? Is he still back? You make it back?
Yeah, do you guys see me still?
No, we don't see you.
Don't see you on, but hear you.
No, I'm seeing myself and I see you guys, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. That was going on the other night too.
Hmm.
Anyhow, go ahead, brother. We hear you. So let her rip, man. What do you think, James Harrison's comments?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is kind of what I said when we were talking about him last week being up for the Hall. Is like he's going to have to do the Terrell Davis thing where it's like I was great for the 6 or 7 years I did start, whereas like other guys have longevity, right? So I think you could argue he had a Hall of Fame run. It's just, are they going to give him enough credit for those 6 really dominant seasons?
Yeah. Good point. TA, your thoughts on that? Oh, man.
Look, I think it's not going to necessarily be the Terrell thing. If it is a Terrell thing, they might be afraid that he decides to have the Hall of Fame ceremony at Kent State University, if that's the case. And there might end up being 4 more dead in Ohio. So I think we need to avoid that. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think he's right. 100 sacks is definitely the floor. And you've got guys right now who have that and then some who are still waiting to get in the Hall. I think the only thing that James has going for him is A, his Super Bowl records, and B, he does have Super Bowl rings and his Super Bowl record. That's what he's got going for him.
Yep. Defensive Player of the Year also.
Yeah, I think that's his biggest thing is like if he's going to lay claim to anything, it's his dominance for that 6-year or 7-year run. And the fact he does have a DPOI where a lot of guys who accumulated sacks that might have more than him may never have reached that peak, right? Like that's kind of the argument for him.
That's a tough one to hit, no doubt.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, ask TJ Watt.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Yeah, definitely too. Jalen Warren.
Yeah, feel bad, right?
I didn't know you didn't seem interested in the James Harrison discussion.
You just went ahead and smacked him right in the mouth, man. Took
What is
away
with you two
his
tonight?
boy. You took
What is
away his
with you
boy.
two? This is getting out of hand. I mean, TA's critiquing my performance right off the rip. JT's here skipping me on different things. I might as well just go in the backstage here. Let me run the backstage part of the show tonight. But listen,
How about I do that? You guys take over.
Yeah, I'll take my Longhorn and go in backstage by myself.
Look, JT went backstage.
Thank you.
Don't pull the curtain shut yet, JT. Give him 2 seconds to get what he wanted to say. Ready? Go.
So everybody already knows.
Hold on. We'll give him the full stage here. There you go.
Yes, please. All right. Thank you.
Oh, look at this. This is stardom right here.
Yeah. This is
Drum
my
roll,
shining
please.
moment. This
I
is
don't know
my
how we
shining
do this
moment
one
right here.
Pro sports
So-
fans. How do we give him full stage?
Everybody that listens to the show knows kind of what my argument is with James Harrison. I believe that to get a spot in Canton, Ohio, you have to be considered one of the most dominant players at your position, no matter how long your career is. So if you want to bank off of a numbers thing and this and that, well, then Barry Sanders shouldn't have been a first-time ballot Hall of Famer because his career was cut short. At the end of the day, James Harrison was the most dominant outside linebacker that he in the era that he played in. And then, not to mention, you need Super Bowls to get in. He's got them. He's got that Defensive Player of the Year award that you guys mentioned. He's got it. The concussions, he's got the record there. I'm telling you, Canton, Ohio is supposed to be for the best players that play the game. It doesn't matter what accolades you have. You were one of the best players to play football at your position. You should get in no matter what the amount of snaps or the years of service that you have. It shouldn't matter.
I get it. I do. I think that it's a difference between having a Hall of Fame talent and a Hall of Fame resume, right? Where they're going to lean on the resume most often because they can show direct, correlation. Okay, this guy earned this amount of accolades because of that X, Y,
But
and
it's
Z.
not even. It's not even really about. It's not even really just about the sacks. I mean, I'm willing to put money on it that James Harrison was up in the top league leaders when he played on forced fumbles, on getting turnovers.
Yeah, he made a lot
and
of
all those other things. You know what I mean? How many years consecutively could we have said that James Harrison was the best linebacker in football?
You
3,
definitely have
4?
arguments.
Oh yeah.
Several years.
At least 4.
I think if you ask players who played against him too, they would tell you that he was a Hall of Fame level player. It's just, again, is the Hall going to recognize that in a guy that didn't have the long stretch of dominance? Right?
Well,
That's
no,
really,
because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
They're
they're running out of room in our wing, man. That's the problem.
There that is. There should be a category for most feared.
Yeah, if that was an argument, yeah, we would be having. He'd be in that.
He'd be right up there with Greg Lloyd.
In all honesty, when I seen this and I heard that it came from James, I kind of looked at this as almost James is playing the media, meaning that, in other words, you don't want somebody to do something, you tell them to go ahead and do it. You follow what I'm saying? A little reverse psychology going on here. Freight Train, you're right. 6 years dominance was where he had. You look at Barry Sanders, hell, even dating back to Jim Thorpe. They both played 8 years and were dominant in their field. James actually played for 15 seasons, but it was 6 straight seasons that he had nothing but dominance. So I think even when you look at the entire career, it's very hard pressed to keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because you look at those 6 years, he was virtually unblockable. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he was like on a TJ Watt level, but very, very close.
Hey, we got a comment comes up by Jeremiah. If James Harrison gets into the Hall of Fame, then LC Greenwood needs to be there as well. Well, nobody's going to argue that point.
No.
Yeah, I don't think.
Regardless of James Harrison gets in or not, though, too. But
it just boils down to James Harrison isn't sexy enough. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like a sexy.
Wait a minute now. When James polishes up that hair and shaves a little bit.
Hey, wrong kind of sexy
he's
here.
Pretty sexy, man. Come on now. Don't sell James short.
All right. DA, you.
Are you blushing?
all right.
JT, can you take the camera off me and put it somewhere else?
Look, that face is
All right. All right. Freight Train, thanks for taking the floor there so low. So
Thanks for giving it to me. I appreciate it.
So Jaylen Warren playing for the love of the game for the next 2 games. Fined by the NFL for his helmet-to-helmet hit on Juan Thornhill. $48,556 fine, which at his rate, it's about two games. What the hell?
Yeah, they really got to prorate these fines based on salary of the players, because as an undrafted free agent, Jalen's not making quite as much as the TJ Watts of the world, people like that. So it's a big chunk of change for a guy like him, obviously.
Oh yeah,
and he's definitely playing for the love of the game. If he ain't getting paid for the next 2 games, I mean that's a little harsh. I agree, Shane. Man, I mean, you got to kind of prorate to the player.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we can band together and start like a GoFundMe account for him? Think Steelers Nation would come through for James?
Justice for Jalen.
Jalen.
I'm sure the guys in the locker room help.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't be losing any meals or anything.
Yeah, they'll buy him. They'll buy him a few dinners. Get him by for a couple weeks.
I'm thinking there's cans of tuna and sardines in his future.
Some ramen noodles.
And
Yeah.
some ramen noodles.
Papa John's
Yeah.
pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's it too. What else is going on out there, guys? Before we jump into the game.
Hey, I just want to know, man, all you folks in Pittsburgh, what are you guys thinking about that cheesy Cochran commercial?
I didn't see it until I saw you guys posted on here, and I checked it out earlier. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Look, Kenny and Big Men together in an auto commercial. You don't even get to see a car, not one car.
Mhm.
But it's almost as if
Anymore.
it's kind of, I mean, I get it, but it is awful cheesy. It's like, look, son, I'm very proud of you. You graduated today. You get to have the reins to my commercial spot. I mean, only thing it was missing was a great big hug and a cheesy kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's a passing of the torch, the most important job he took from him,
Absolutely. JT, did you see it?
I did not.
It's something for sure.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to look it up, JT.
Yeah.
I
definitely.
figured by
Check it out. Good stuff.
Hey, you know what? You might even see it play and air a couple of times on KDKA this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled. Oh, JT found it and he's listening to it. Hey, if you get teary-eyed on us, JT, we're putting you back in behind the closet again. We're back in behind the curtain. See, now here's where it'd be nice. Could we actually play it on this format?
We did. We just did.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't play like the whole video for everybody to see it who's watching on here on.
Yeah. No.
I mean, somebody could post it in the chat, I'm sure, but you'd have to do that. So if anybody wants to take the time, but
Yeah. No. No. We got to be careful with stuff like that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
maybe Justin will do it for us. Justin, you need to go ahead and post that commercial for us, buddy. I know you're listening. Uh-oh, here we go. What's he going to say?
Yeah. He's giving it to us.
Hey, Justin, come on, brother. That could be our main ticket. That could be our advertising right there.
Yeah, we
gotta
want to get
show
Kenny
them,
and Ben
some
together
free
on the
publicity and get some
PSF.
paid publicity.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. He says, I'm all ears. There you go, Justin.
All
All right. And for all of you who don't know, Justin is our handler. He's the one who keeps us tame throughout the week, twice at least, maybe
He
three
tries
times.
to. Tries to.
He tries to.
Yeah. He's
All
got
right.
his hands full, no doubt.
He does. All right. So what else we got, JT?
Nothing. Hey, while we're talking about Justin and having his hands full too, we've got our hands full tonight, full of good shows on the PSF app. Following our show is the Frank Nicotero, Matt Light show, Famous Boys, bringing their show after Thursday Night Football. So make sure to tune back in for their thoughts after the game and moving towards the Texans game as well too. Good guys, funny guys, man. Listen in then too. So, yeah. What else have we got? We talked about TJ.
Yeah, we need to talk about defensive player of the month, guys.
Yeah, defensive
Well
player
deserved.
of the month of the first month of the season. Man, can't make more of an impact than that. Wasn't Myles Garrett?
Yeah, I'm sure that pained the media.
Yeah, really. So, congratulations, TJ. Definitely well earned. Well earned.
Absolutely.
So, heading into game, any roster moves? We should TA anything going on there on the roster?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to hear about it in the ambulance report, but we went ahead and we brought back a gentleman who we've seen time and time again, a friend of ours from down under, Mr. Brad Wing is back on the Steelers roster.
punter.
He's gonna put a shrimp on the Barbie.
He's gonna put a shrimp on the Barbie. Evidently, we must have wore Percy out last weekend. Wasn't doing his stretches properly. Needs to sit in yoga class a little longer because he's got a hamstring and he will not be able to punt this weekend. So Brad will be taking his place.
Wow.
Hey, we lost the MVP of the team, guys. Can't take
Yeah.
it to it.
Yeah.
Where do we turn from,
One
from
week.
here? I mean,
IR second week.
Yeah, yeah. Look, just like that. From the penthouse to the shit house, guys. It happens that quick in the NFL.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Crazy.
But other than that, we signed another wide receiver. We signed Jalen Camp we signed Jalen Camp to the practice squad and released another DB, Kalen Barnes. So I'm finding this interesting. We sign a wide receiver, we let a wide receiver go. We sign a DB, we let a DB go. I'm not quite sure we found that combination yet. So stay tuned. We're probably going to pick up another wide receiver or a DB as the year goes on. I think they get like 1 week tryouts. That's what we're doing now. They get one week on the practice squad.
Yeah.
What
I
was
don't
that,
know why
Shane?
they keep. Shane,
Shane?
go ahead.
Shane, where'd you go, Shane? What'd you say?
Hey, Shane-O's in
Say
the
that,
house, too.
They
Hey,
haven't
Shane.
meshed with the guys yet, right? The practice squatters got to mesh with the rest of the guys, I guess, and keep swapping them out. I do like Camp was a Texan for a while, so maybe that's part of that. Maybe that's one of the reasons he got brought in. So, but yeah, we'll see.
Any spare playbooks coming back?
Maybe.
Well, since we're going there, man, let's just jump into it. TA, what do you got for the ambulance report?
I tell you what, the MASH unit is over full this week, guys. Of course, we've already heard about Presley Harvin. Did not participate. We've had even another addition to there. Darnell Washington, knee, did not participate. James Daniels, groin, did not participate today. Allen Robinson did not participate today. So we've got four folks that did not participate that are pretty pivotal to what we've been trying to do. Now, we've also got a few nicks and bruises and stuff. One of them being Connor Hayward, his ankle. Looks like Gunner's back from his concussion. Pat P and Isaac Smulu both had, a little day off yesterday, but they're back to being full today. And of course, what would the ambulance port be without our friend Larry, Obi, Joby, Kenobi, one? Let the force foot be with you. Now, with that said, guys, this is where it's going to get interesting on the Texans side of the ball. Now, the Texans, they're a little beat up. They're missing a couple of tackles. Josh Jones and Laramie Tunsil will probably not play, which means they have now shuffled around their offensive line, including George Fant, who will probably take over that left tackle spot. Still to be determined yet. But you know what this means? We're going to get to see one of our favorite Steelers play this weekend, Kendrick Green.
Yes.
Are you guys not excited about this?
Oh, I am excited.
I know someone else Keanu Benton should be excited too.
And we're going to talk about that because I think there's a few people that's going to be excited about that. But the other one that's kind of interesting is their wide receiver, Tank Dell. He was full participant today. He's a rookie who's coming on strong. And then they've had a couple of people in the secondary. Jalen Petra, Chest, he was full, and Jimmy Ward was full. So they're going to try to give as many young guys as they can after us. So it should be very interesting on Sunday. And with that, JT, I'm going to turn it back to you and the boys in the studio to talk about some plugs, man. Let's talk about some plugs.
All right.
I'm not talking about my hair plugs. I'm talking about your plugs, my plugs, our plugs. Let's plug some plugs.
You don't have plugs. But anyhow, hey, thanks for that Wonderful job, TA, as always, with his ambulance report. Anyhow, yeah, we're here every Monday, unless we got a Monday night game, and Thursday doing pre-games here on Steelers Realm. And we're also simulcast on Pro Sports Fans PSF app. If you haven't gotten that, grab that. We're on twice there. We've got 3 Steeler teams out there bringing you all the latest commentary and a list of talent out there, bringing Steelers chat your way. A total interactive app out there as well too, and SteelersRealm.com will link you to any of our social media sites as well too. And we got Shane with us too. Shane, give us a plug on your all your ventures, man. I know you got a big list of them. Busy guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, on top of the stuff I'm doing with you guys now for PSF, I have my 2 shows on Still Curtain YouTube. If you look up just Still Curtain podcast on YouTube, you can check out all our shows there. We have a Tuesday show that goes up usually about 5 or 6, and then our live show, our big one, is 1:30 at 1:30 p.m. on Wednesdays every week.
Excellent too. Want to also mention our buddy and partner in Steelers Crime, Bubba Brewer and his Triple B Experience. Make sure to check those guys out as well too. I know he's actually talking about maybe doing something with the pro wrestling on the PSF app as well too. So we'll keep you posted on that. That should be interesting. Nobody can bring you that stuff better than Bubba himself as well too. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on, guys. Obviously we're going to be broadcasting again live, not us personally, but the famous guys will be bringing you the Texans game live on that PSF app as well too. So make sure to tune into Matt and Frank during the game. Just have some fun chatter. It's a good interactive bunch here too, and glad to be part of it. So yeah, man, let's jump into the game itself. Freight Train, why don't you start us off with what are we going to face coming up Sunday, man?
The biggest hurdle is going to be CJ Stroud. This is a good quarterback, even if he's a rookie. They definitely feel like they've won the lottery with him. He's the first rookie quarterback, to have at least 900 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. This is a guy that I wanted the Steelers to shoot for when he was coming out. I was ready to go into that prior season with Dwayne Haskins as our quarterback, and apparently he had other plans, and so did the Steelers by signing Mitch Trubisky and then eventually drafting Kenny Pickett. Stroud's a very, very good quarterback. I got to watch him in my backyard at Ohio State. Big arm, big playmaker. He's actually very, very nimble too. He's not afraid to escape the pocket and run the ball. So he's kind of multifaceted there. He helps make everybody else better on that offense with just his pure arm strength alone.
Yeah, I mean, for me, guys, I scouted him a lot because I was doing some scouting draft work for a couple different sites, and the thing that struck me with him so far, especially because when he was coming out, the number one concern was could he make something out of the pocket, right? Could he make for an offense? And so far, he's done a pretty good job of that. But the more important thing, you talk about arm strength, Freight Train, but more importantly, his accuracy and the anticipation. Some of the throws he's made are just high level, like veteran NFL quarterback throws.
Well, they didn't start him off with training wheels like we do Kenny Pickett, who still has the training wheels on. They're letting him go out there and air it out.
Exactly. And I mean, the receivers for this team, like Nico Collins, I really like. He's a young player as well. Tank Dowell is a smaller guy, but kind of similar to Calvin. Like, he can make plays down the field even as a smaller guy. So they're just letting him do his thing, let him get comfortable. And he has done really well, even with some of the pressure he's faced with this offensive line not really being healthy right now. So.
Yeah, and so TA, like, what kind of weapons now? What kind of weapons is he going to have to work with?
Well, the weapons is quite interesting, but I just want to add one more thing here on the CJ Stroud here that a lot of people may not know. First of all, Ohio State is definitely not known for turning out quarterbacks. They have turned out rum dum after rum dum. Matter of fact, we even had one called Mike Tomzak. He might have been the only quarterback with the longest longevity as far as out of Ohio State, and we already see Justin Fields struggling. So CJ Stroud's the real deal. Now he does have a lot of. He's starting to really develop a nice little tandem with another rookie, Tank Dell. He's paying early dividends as he's the first rookie receiver in team history to lead the Texans in receiving yards. And of course,
which is
he's coming
super. That's super surprising because the Texans are known to have drafted some stellar wide receivers. I mean, you look at DeAndre Hopkins, and then before him, Andre Johnson, who is one of the best wide receivers really to ever play the game that nobody talks about.
right. So I mean, so he's following some big shoes. So this is a guy that we really got to look out for. And then you, of course, you got Robert Woods and you've got Nico Collins as well that are there. But there's also Dalton Schultz. As far as his tight end goes. So CJ Stroud is not afraid to put that ball everywhere. He's starting to develop his go-to guys, but again, he's not afraid to spread that ball around, guys. I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, their weapons have really played much better than I think people gave them credit for going into the season. And there's a lot of development that you had to play into that if you were going to project them to be good at weapon. But again, Nico Collins has been really good. Tank Dell, he actually requested them to draft him. If you guys remember hearing that, after the first round, whenever they got in the third round, he wanted him on the team for a reason. And you could tell that there was already some chemistry there that they had probably developed maybe in the offseason, maybe they worked together, whatever. But it's working so far in the NFL too.
Well, and I think the other key thing is they actually surrounded TJ Stroud with a couple veteran pass catchers in that offense too that we failed to do for Kenny Pickett. So Robert Woods has been a solid veteran in his career. And then they went out and got a guy like Dalton Schultz who consistently can get open as a tight end and make tough catches as well.
And just to kind of give you guys an idea of this, Collins, 23 targets. Dell, 21 targets. Woods, 25 targets. Guys, that is spreading the ball even. I mean, I don't know what we got to do. You think maybe, we've been sending a lot of players out west. Do you think maybe we can swap offensive coordinators?
Hey, I'll even throw in a high draft pick as well and a Pepsi machine.
And a Pepsi machine.
Yeah, and a Pepsi machine.
Yeah.
And I bet you what, if we talk very nice to Cochran, I bet you we can get an automobile in there too, a nice caddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just.
What about Damian Pierce, guys?
You know what? He's, I think he's still trying to find his footing. But at the end of the day, between him and Singletary, they're formidable. They're at least enough to allow him to have that play action pass. And CJ Stroud needs that. Now, where this is going to get very interesting, guys, is what we've already talked about. This offensive line is hurting. And look, if they're starting Kendrick Green, we know they're hurting.
Oh, boy.
It's not good. Not great.
Mm-hmm.
No. So if TJ doesn't have a good game, Highsmith doesn't have a good game, Benton doesn't have a good game, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and throw in Adams, guys, I don't know what else. I mean, then we've fallen into a trap. It's basically what this is, because this should be pin your ears back and go get him. And don't get me wrong, CJ can run. But you know what? He looks to throw first. He's not your typical quarterback today like that guy in Baltimore.
Well, and don't forget, the Steelers organization also has a very good record against rookie quarterbacks as well.
We do. Yeah,
True.
we definitely do.
Yeah.
I will say with Pierce, sticking with him for a second, he hasn't had a great start to the year because probably partly offensive line play, but he's the type of running back that scares me when they play the Steelers because he's a tackle breaker, a guy that wants to find contact. And we know this team has a tendency sometimes to miss tackles. And that's my chief concern with him is if he does get some open space, can we tackle him efficiently? I don't know, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't want him to hit the second level. That's for sure.
No, that's when stuff gets scary.
That's when stuff gets scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if you look at the teams that they've faced so far, speaking of the Texans, I think another proponent of Pierce starting off slow is okay. They started the year off with the Ravens, very very good defensive line. Colts, kind of a shitty team, but their defensive line's pretty solid as well. And then you had the Jaguars last week, which they beat them, but they also aired the ball out a lot in that game, if you can't tell by the score of 37-17. So I think that is a huge key to keep him contained is it starts with that defensive line to slow him down.
And let's face it, though, even with all of those, as far as the high rushing performance between Pierce and Singletary, neither of them cracked 50 yards in those games, Freight Train.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you've got Stroud, who averaged somewhere, let's say, about 280, 290 yards passing. So if they're already used to being one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if I'm looking at this, we need to take away the pass and force them to run.
Yeah. If you can't bait them into bad decisions.
You got it.
But it starts with the pass rush first. Hands down.
It does. Uh-oh, I hear JT's lips are moving, but we don't hear you saying anything, buddy.
Cat got your tongue, JT, or what?
Oh, wait a second. Listen, you can hear Shane, too. Shane and JT can hear each other, but they can't hear us.
They must have said something funny.
Or they just cut us off.
That could be it. Yep. All right, back to the other one then for us.
Hold on. Shane, can you hear us? Yeah, something's changed.
All right, well, this has turned into a train wreck here.
Now the question is, though, for our listeners, Freight Trade. Now, and JT, look at JT smiling because he's trying to figure this out. Are our guests able to hear us, or are they able to hear JT and Shane? Which one is it? I wonder.
I don't know.
Just me.
Holler if you hear me.
He's back.
Yeah. Me and Shane were the only ones that could hear each other. We couldn't hear you or Freight Train.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we're ready to move on to the defense. We're just hoping everybody else is.
Yeah, you guys were going for a while.
Well, thanks for that. Let's do that. Let's move on. Oh man, one of these days we're gonna have everything working as it should.
Yep.
That'll be interesting. So then we can just focus on the show. But
it's not quite a fine oiled machine just yet.
Another platform in here somehow. We need to add even more places. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's run more stuff at once. See if that helps it.
Yeah. Let's add another streaming service on top of it.
Yeah, why not? What the hell? All right. So what's Kenny going to face when we go on offense? So why don't we kick us off? Shane, why don't you kick us off with that? Who do we got to watch out for?
Man, I was hoping TA would start us off with this one.
Yeah, like I say, I think I'd like to see TA. Like,
you know what?
Tell us the first.
You guys are so right. Yeah. I just rushed right over that. So please, TA, kick us off with players to watch out for.
Well, thank you guys. I am honored to go ahead and pronounce this fifth round draft pick straight out of Alabama, Mr. Henry Tuoto. And that O is not for oh my God. It is for O. Okay. Now, the rookie has been playing for Denzel Perryman. And right now, he's leading tackler right now for the Texans. So I look for him to kind of split this weekend with Denzel. But in all honesty, guys, we need to test this guy. If ever there is a game right now for Muth to really pad his stats and to hear the heart of Texas scream his name. This is the game, man, for Muth.
Yeah, it
This
sure
is
is,
it.
TA. The only thing is will it be tested out early or will it be in the fourth quarter like we saw the last game? It all depends on that play caller. You know what I mean? Like, surely he would be smart enough to throw Muth at a rookie linebacker to boot. But again, look at who we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like we're giving him the answers to the test on our show every Thursday. But clearly he doesn't see us eye to eye here.
We need to get this show on his radar now. But
Yeah.
whether it's Toto or if it's Perriman, whichever one, like these are both run stopper first type guys. So I think the rookie he can make some plays in coverage. He's a smart coverage player. I did scout him a little bit too coming out, but he doesn't have the athleticism to hang with any of our guys that might go over the middle. Like he's just not gonna stick with it.
Right. And to even add to that, this needs to be like a breakout game for Connor Hayward as well in that role. I mean, we haven't seen him hardly at all this season. And he was one of the biggest Swiss Army knives at the end of last season.
And wait a
So
second,
surely
wasn't he supposed to be our secret weapon?
that's what he's super secret. You can't even see him. Call him the Magic Man.
He's top secret. He's top
It would
secret.
be the break case of mercy thing for us at this point. The way things are going.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, JT.
So,
it's up to you.
well, let's keep it rolling here.
Old friend up next, huh?
What's that?
Old friend.
An
old
old
friend.
friend. Yes. Who's that? Wouldn't be none other than Steven Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah. So leads the team in passes defended and has a pick. So we know the dude. And I'm sure he'll be having an axe to grind. Was it in him that we just didn't offer him another
Pretty
contract?
much. Yeah. I think they wanted
just
to
kinda
make him take a pay cut or something or whatever.
Oh no, we'll get back to you. Like, hey guys, what's going on with my contract? We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you later. Maybe later. Yeah. So, I don't know. You think he'll be a factor? Well, definitely want to try to avoid him.
See, I'm not so sure about that. And here's why. I feel like when I watched him here, when he got up against bigger receivers, he struggled. He was better against the smaller, shifty guys. You put him up against a guy like George Pickens and get him downfield, I feel like that's more of an advantage for us than it is them. I feel like this is the game where we consistently feed the ball to George Pickens one-on-one against a smaller cornerback.
But do you think they're going to be playing one-on-one, or do you think they're going to set up and mostly cover two to try to stop George Pickens?
I mean, surely they've been watching the film of our football team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not even we haven't done that to anybody this year.
Yeah, we haven't attempted those downfield throws much at all, at least not to him. So,
and that's the thing with this offense. Is I'm not trying to get off the rails here, but that's the thing with this offense. We don't have that one person that we feed the ball to no matter what. Like, it's not like we are guaranteed to give Najee 20 to 30 carries a game. We don't have that. We don't have it to where we feed our number one wide receiver at least 10 to 15 passes a game.
Deontay, he's not willing to throw the ball enough to anybody in particular.
Yeah, right.
This is where it needs to start. We need to have something that is consistent week in and week out. We're either going to pound the ball or we're going to air it out to one of our receivers, no matter what the matchup is, because we believe in our guy more than we think that your guy can beat us.
Well, is Kenny still developing those connections?
He shouldn't.
But it's really hard to do that with play calling. Like that's kind of the problem. Is like it's not so much that they're even spreading the ball around; it's that they're just not utilizing a lot of their best players in the best way. Like I still think, and I felt this when Deontay went down. Like as much as I like Pickens, Fryermuth should be the 10 target guy while he's out. Like he's the most reliable player on the team in that regard. As much as Pickens is good in a lot of areas, like Fryermuth's going to be open a lot more than all these other guys are. He's just more nuanced in that way as well.
Yeah, I mean, either way, something needs to happen that is consistent week in and week out for
Right.
anything to happen. There is no level of consistency anywhere. It's kind of let's buy our time and pray to God that the defense scores a touchdown.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Hey, we don't need first downs. We'll be fine. We can get a first down in the second quarter.
Well, it's too early for that. We don't want to scare him, make him think we're going to do it.
That's right. It's the old pull the play out of the hat playbook.
So if we do look at this, if we look at where Kenny's been going with the ball, Pickens has been targeted 23 times. Austin, Warren, and Robinson 16 to 15 times. Then it drops down to Fryermuth at 9 times.
Just way too few.
But the thing with Steven Nelson is, TA, and I know you'll agree with me because I'm hot on this take. The thing with Steven Nelson is he's susceptible to that big play. It's when you run the routes that we're running right now, where the little 5-yarders, and he can jump the route and make the play on it. Make him get downfield.
I probably agree with you. I mean, it would be nice to see another 70-yard bomb to Calvin Austin again, or to George, for that matter.
Whoever.
Yeah. Or even as we've been screaming, what's wrong with a 30-yard pass down to Muth?
No, hell yeah.
Right.
Just don't seem interested in it right now. I don't know.
You're going to hit the seam deep, hit it short too.
Against this secondary in this middle of the field, like you can do that stuff. It's just, is he going to try to do it or not? Right. That's the question every week is we can look and see like, oh yeah, they're weak in this part of the field or this weak in this area. Doesn't mean anything for this team. There's no reason to believe they're going to purposely attack them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. We have a problem with attacking other teams' weaknesses. So I guess with that said, I mean, we could sit here and go on with their weaknesses, what we see. What is it that we feel is going to be the key to our success?
No, hold on. We got to talk about Will Anderson, TA. You're jumping too far.
I don't even want to talk about Will, to be honest with you, because you guys hit it all on the head. I mean, here we are. We could go into this, and you're right. There's another young guy, another rookie with high hopes from the Texans, and he's going up against Chooks, and we've got to keep him away from Kenny. But in all reality, I mean, it doesn't matter, guys. We just need to see some difference in Canada. So keys to victory. You want to know the key to victory? I'm just going to say this right now. I really think that Matt Canada, did you guys ever see that Google movie with, what was his name? The blonde hair guy and the big guy, and they're out there playing Quidditch.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, it's Harry Potter, but it's not the movie Harry Potter. It was about Google. Internship. Was it the internship? Anyway,
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember exactly.
I can't remember. Anyways, there's a part in the movie where the one kid just kind of goes up and he nudges the other one, like in other words, fake an injury, knocked him out, took him out of the game. That's what we need to do to Canada. He needs to have a shower accident, so he doesn't make it up to the booth. And if we can do that, guys, we have a very good chance. That's my key to victory.
Fair enough.
Canada has a shower accident before the game.
Canada has a shower accident.
First votes. If that comes out in the news, we know who to look at.
Okay. Well, anyways, my key to victory, and I pretty much already said it, is this offense needs to have some sort of consistency with it and attack a certain positional group against this football team. Whether it's the linebackers or the aging cornerbacks, something needs to happen where you absolutely wear them out down the field. And I'm not talking like inside, outside. You know what I mean? You just there has to be volume from somewhere. Whether it's, you give Najee the ball 30 times, so what? He gets a 2-yard gain here and there. Consistently wear them out. That's where it is. And then the second key, I'm pulling a T. I'm giving 2 of them. Time of possession. There is no excuse to not win the time of possession against this football team. No excuse whatsoever.
Fair enough. I think mine is pretty simple and pretty, standard for this team. It's the reason they've won the first, 2 of the first 3 games. It's got to be the pass rush. They have to continue to be the best in the NFL because, quite frankly, if they give C.J. Stroud time, our secondary cannot hang with these receivers. I really worry about Tank Dell just beating us for an 80-yard touchdown. I worry about Collins crossing the face of Levi Wallace 50 times in this game for 20 catches. It's going to be really easy if the pass rush, especially against this offensive line that they're putting out there, if we can't get 5, 6 sacks, 15, 20 pressures, it could get ugly pretty quickly on defense with the way this passing offense is playing.
Right. Which I do want to throw in here, and JT will back me up. In the big mega cast, I predicted Joey Porter Jr. was going to get his first career interception in this game. Just want to throw that out there.
Ooh, all right. I would love to see him play a lot in this game, especially.
Yeah, would certainly like to see him get more. And then, my keys to this game is to pick a game plan that's effective and go with it the entire game. I'd like to see like a full offensive playbook. Go down there, sustain a few drives, keep balance on the time clock between offense and defense, even if you're not going to put up a lot of points. But I think we're going to have a chance to do that. So I think just a good, effective playbook and deliver it and execute it is the key.
Uh-huh.
And it'd be nice to see that, wouldn't it, boys?
Well, I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee that you can take this to Vegas, back to Vegas. Matt Canada left the jet sweep in his pocket last week. I bet your sweet ass it's coming out this week.
First play of the game.
Yeah.
Give me the player prop for. Give me the prop for that. What's the odds on that one?
I'm telling you, they're good. Like, yeah.
All righty. Cool. Did we get everybody? Did I know I didn't get it? Didn't pass up anybody?
Yeah, we're good. I think we got all the keys, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Hey, we're up against it here pretty soon. Let's get our predictions, and then just look around the league. Talk about Joe. Should they have sat him? Should they sit him now? I don't know. We'll talk about that. But Shane, why don't you kick us off with the predictions? Who do you got? Who do you got in this game?
We got Steelers 24-20, just slightly covering and slightly over if you're betting this game. I think that the offense will do enough, and I think this defense is going to be able to keep Stroud in check because of the pass rush. There's probably going to be a couple of plays late that gets them, closer, kind of what we saw at the Raiders last week, because we all know this team can't beat anybody soundly, right? There's always got to be some drama at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I will still take this team, even on the road, against a young, still developing Texans team.
Yeah. Sounds good. TA asked me up next, so I'm taking Steelers, and we put up a 30 burger.
Ooh,
put up a 30 burger, first time this season.
So.
Steelers 30, Texans 21.
Nice, JT. Feeling optimistic.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Freight train.
It's my turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I tuned into Bubba's show late yesterday, and we put a wager on it. I said if Matt Canada's ran offense ever put up 30 points, me and him would have a wrestling match.
So I set the scene for this then. Huh?
Yes. So I feel like we need to get a hold of whoever runs the pay-per-views on HBO, because I'm predicting the Steelers to win 34-27.
Ooh, barn burner. All right, it'd be fun.
Look, all I can say is with these predictions, my dream has come true, and there is a shower accident in Houston. God, Virginia, there's a Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes. And with that said, I am looking at a 27-13 victory.
Ooh, big one.
Okay.
Scores. That would be great. Great for my health, mentally, physically, everything. If we do that.
Yeah. I like it. I like all those scores. I'll take every single one of them.
Yeah, they
I'll
all
take
start with
any.
the win,
Yeah,
right?
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. That means it's a win. That's a win.
No more ugly wins. Like
yeah.
I already my body feels like we're in like week 11.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'll take every win, but I would just can we have 1 week that we have a break? We have Ravens week next week after that. Like we know that's going to be a war no matter what. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
give us something to relax for like a week, guys. Like something.
Right. And a little bit of confidence moving into that week, especially offensively.
Liking it. So what's going on around the AFC? Ravens Broncos.
Browns.
Or Ravens Browns, sorry. Ravens Browns. Why did I say Broncos? Old age.
Because you're still trying to get over that 70-point ass kicking they took by Miami last week. I mean, is that where you want to go with this?
Well, somebody's got to lose that game. So they're both at 2-1. Tied with
Personally,
us.
I mean,
tied with us too. So
I want to see the Ravens lose it because if they're already not healthy, like if we can get them in a hole, and then even if they get healthy, if they're in too much of a hole to come back, I'm much more concerned about that team making a run than I am the Browns at this point. So
yeah, they have a little too much confidence right now. I think we knocked the Browns down a little bit. So yeah, I think of the two teams, that's the one I'd rather see struggle a little bit more. And we'll deal with the Bengals when we have to.
yeah.
I mean, we already know what's going to happen in this matchup, right? Because we have Baltimore next. So we already know that Lamar Jackson is going to have some sort of freak injury by the end of this week. And he's going to be out the following week.
Probably, yeah, the way that works for them.
So my money is also on the Browns.
Might as well add him to the list, right?
Yeah.
We'll pull up with a hammy like late in the fourth quarter, and we won't see him the next.
See, now I'm gonna have to go different, guys. I'm kind of hoping the Ravens take this one because I don't want them coming into Acrisure Stadium the following weekend with a chip on their shoulder. We already know that's the black and blue week. We're already talking fairy dust and pixie dust this week to have just a nice, relaxing day because next weekend is really going to be a hard one. So let's let the Ravens win. Let them feel a little overconfident so that we can just smack the you-know-what out of them next weekend.
It's a good point.
I say let's let the Browns beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way, one of them's going to lose. So that's all that matters.
That's it. And it'll be fun watching whoever lose. That's a win-win for us. Win-win for us. All right, guys. Hey, I want to send a shout out to some of our followers here. Shane, Shano out there, Rich, Jeremiah, and even Kathy joined in, and Chris Elliott as well, too. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate your support. Gentlemen, it's good to get with you again. Looking forward to 1 o'clock Sunday game. Looking forward to sitting back in the easy chair with Papa Son. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and enjoy the game. Don't forget, PSF followers, tune in to the famous group there as they'll be doing their live chat the entire way through the game. So tune in live with those guys too. So, gentlemen, Steelers Nation, peace. Careful in the hot tub. We'll see you next time.
Adios. Go Steelers, baby.
Go Steelers, baby.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.